Hi there and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. If this is your first time, my name is Catherine and I am documenting my cancer journey, which began in December of 2020 when I found a couple lumps in my right breast and has now progressed to the point where I am 1 week past my first chemotherapy treatment. And I thought I would share with you guys what this first week has been like. I had my first chemotherapy treatment Monday of last week. I had the first appointment of the day at 8 a.m. So I arrived, got checked in, met some of the people, the nurses, the help staff, all very comforting and, there to support and just make me feel, not so scared and unsure about what was going on. So it started off with a slew of anti-nausea medications. I think it took like 6 pills, followed by the insertion of the IV, which surprisingly wasn't too bad. I'm usually a little bit difficult to get an IV in, but these people are pros, and 1 shot and it was in. They then administered a anti-nausea drug via the IV. That took maybe about, an hour and a half to 2 hours just to wait for all the anti-nausea stuff to kick in. And then they actually started with the 2 drugs that they were administering, which makes up what it's called AC, is this combination. So the first one, which is the red one, the one that starts with an A and is called like the Red Devil, that they actually don't administer through a bag in the IV. It was in like this large syringe, which they had to like manually slowly push in and supervise to make sure I didn't have a allergic reaction. And they can't go too quickly or, you start burning the vein, like it feels like your veins are burning. The woman who did mine was great. I didn't feel a thing when she was doing it, but that was about 15 minutes of her just like sitting there talking to me as she like slowly pushed in this red material into my, the port on my IV. So once the red one was finished, they then administer the second drug, which is the C in the combination. And that took maybe about half an hour to go in. So all in all, from when I got there and when I left, it was about 3 hours. I brought all this stuff with me to entertain me, but I basically just sat around the room, like looking around at everything and everyone. And it's like, what's that? What's that? When does this happen? What does this mean? Maybe next time I'll actually like watch a Netflix show or read a book. But that first time I was just way too interested in my surroundings and what everything felt like and what it was. So overall, that experience wasn't too bad. I thought maybe I'd feel more or, the feeling of tiredness didn't even really kick in until maybe the last like half hour. And even at that, it wasn't like debilitating or anything like that. So then when I wrapped up there, my husband came and got me and took me home. At that point, I was feeling pretty tired. And that then launches off the theme of the rest of the week, which is tired. I think that Monday, the rest of the day, like I could barely stay awake. I was, in between naps was my existence for that day. But that was fine. That's what my body needed and that's what I did. Tuesday, this is an interesting step here. As part of the medication, I have the pills I have to take for anti-nausea each morning for like 3 days after I get chemo done. But there's also this injection, which I think is called Lapelga, I think is the name of this particular one. And the point of this injection is to help your body start to rebuild the white blood cells. Because chemotherapy is basically like wiping out everything, good or bad. And this injection is going to help pump you back up. So because it was my first time taking it, they had me go into the hospital to show me how to administer it. I've done a lot of subcutaneous injections in my past through all the IVF cycles that I've done. So I felt pretty good about doing it and had no problem with taking the lead and doing it myself with their supervision. So did the injection. They make you wait for like 15-20 minutes to make sure you don't have an allergic reaction. And then I headed home. Over the course of the day, I would say like I started getting this feeling where it's like my face felt kind of heavy. And I noticed that I was like just a little bit flushed. But by the afternoon, when I was talking to my mom on FaceTime, she was like, your face is really red. And it had spread down my neck and to my chest. I called the hospital and talked to their oncology pharmacist there. And they said as long as I wasn't having, trouble breathing, there wasn't swelling, I didn't have a fever, it's probably a minor allergic reaction. My husband went out and got some Benadryl for me. I took 2 pills, and within, a couple hours, I was pretty much back to normal. On Wednesday, the hospital called me to check up to see how I was doing, to make sure that I was still okay, which I thought was pretty awesome. I mean, it is their job, but I thought that was great that they did follow up to make sure that I was okay. So Tuesday, I actually felt really good, with the exception of my slight allergic reaction. Wednesday is where it's kind of started kicking in. I was definitely feeling tired. Over the course of the couple days, I would have a bad taste in my mouth, which I hear is common, but Wednesday, I think I napped on and off throughout the day again. Another thing I had though was I started to have some shivers and some shaking. So that was new on Wednesday, and that carried into Thursday as well. It was a little bit less, but I definitely still had the shaking. Not so much shivers, but I was still shaking a bit. Thursday started to get a little bit more energy, but definitely not making it past 9 p.m. These days. I'm already passed out on the couch, in bed, whatever, no controlling it. Yeah, the latter half of last week, had some stomach upset, which is awesome. But that subsided after a couple days. The bad taste in my mouth is still there and kind of lingers. And I have a little bit of this weird tongue feeling, if that makes sense. It's like my tongue is tingling. That's been a couple days that I've had that feeling. I've tried doing a bit of mouthwashes. The hospital gave an instruction, there's an instructional video and stuff, and they recommended that you rinse your mouth with baking soda and warm water 3 times a day. So I've been trying to do that a little bit because, yeah, my mouth is feeling a little weird and my tongue definitely feels weird, and I don't want to get mouth sores for sure. So I'm gonna rinse with some baking soda and warm water. Friday and the weekend were all right. No major different symptoms or anything. It was just a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of tiredness. Some days I'd make it to 10 o'clock. Some days I make it to 8:30. The thing that's new now is over the last couple days, I've been feeling tingling in my hair or in my scalp, and some itching. So they say that your hair starts to fall out with about 2 to 4 weeks after the first treatment. But from every video I've seen and everyone who has said anything, it's 2 weeks to the calendar, to the date. So I am approaching that point. I do have longer hair, so I think maybe the weight of it is what's causing a little bit of the tingling and discomfort right now. So stay tuned. There may be a hair cutting video coming very, very shortly. That's a big step. So all in all, the first week was pretty good. I feel lucky that the extent of my discomfort is some, fatigue, some mild stomach problems, and a tingly tongue, and a mild allergic reaction, but it's all manageable. We'll see as time goes on if the effects are accumulative, and thus getting worse with each treatment, but time will tell. So yeah, that's basically what my first week after chemo treatment number 1 was like. My second chemotherapy treatment will be coming up in under a week, so just getting ready and prepared for that mentally. And yeah, we'll just take it day by day and treatment by treatment and just try and stay positive. Anyways, thanks for watching my video. I hope maybe this was helpful if you're wondering what to expect. This obviously is my experience, and what I'm learning is every cancer patient has a different journey, has different side effects, different symptoms, different experiences. So you just have to kind of see what it is for you. But I'm going to follow along and see what it is for me. And if you want to as well, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button and join me on this journey. Thank you. Have a great day.